What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Solutions, and yes ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rebirth Island, welcome back to Purgatory, welcome to Season 6 and its latest updates. Now yes ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are complaining about FPS drops, just overall a bad gameplay experience when it comes to Warzone and when it comes to Modern Warfare 3. Now this video is for people out there that's playing Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. It doesn't matter what you are playing. It doesn't matter if you are playing this game through Battle.net or Steam. It doesn't matter. It doesn't also matter if you're running this game on a low-end machine to a high-end machine to a nuclear fucking launching nuclear missile machine. It doesn't matter. As long as you follow my guidelines from the beginning to the end of this video, and you should be good to go. I can promise you this. As long as you just follow the steps that I'm about to show you, you should be good to go to have a smooth gameplay experience when it comes to Warzone and Modern Warfare 3's latest updates. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into this video. Let me show you the best settings you can use right now at this very moment with the latest graphics card driver updates and every single update that has come out for Call of Duty at this very moment. Alright, let's jump straight into this video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are on our desktop right now, and the first thing I just want to mention is this. If you would like to let me personally optimize your computer for you, if you need an optimization or whatever the case might be, you can go ahead and email me here at the top and just send me an email, and then I'll message you my Discord and whatever the case might be. And I do charge a service fee. I do charge a service fee because it actually takes up time and effort from me to be able to optimize your PC for you, and I'll do everything for you, don't worry. Or I could just guide you through everything that you need to do, and you should be good to go. I just want to mention that to you guys. My email's here at the top, and you can just email me. All right, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is, ladies and gentlemen, please be on your desktop. It doesn't matter if you're running this game through Battle.net or Steam. Just close both of those programs. Please go ahead and close it and be on your desktop. Now, the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this over here. If you have background apps running, please go ahead and close them. You do not want these things to run while you are playing Call of Duty. It's highly recommended that you close all background apps. Now, I have a CCTV camera running over here. I'm not going to hover over it because then you can actually see my cameras and my location, whatever the case might be. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to right click on it and then say close window. Now, I don't want to see my cameras and stuff like that while I'm playing the game because it uses resources like my CPU, my RAM, and my VRAM usage. So I actually close that program. Now, another thing is Wallpaper Engine, which I'm currently running right now for this background image that I'm running for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is Wallpaper Engine. Now, what I would suggest you do is you completely just close out of this if you use it. If you don't use it, you are good to go. If you have a still image, you are perfectly fine. But I highly recommend actually closing this. So you go over here, right click on it. I know a lot of people say you should just pause it, then it pauses, and then the picture doesn't move. And you can literally just click on unpause, and then the picture starts moving again. But the best way of doing it is actually going here, right clicking and say quit, and have a still desktop image with nothing on your desktop. No clutter, no shortcuts, no nothing. If you have shortcuts, go put them in a folder. You should be good to go. Or just delete the shortcuts. You should not have shortcuts on your desktop in the first place. Like if you have multiple Steam games or whatever the case might be as shortcuts on your desktop. You need to launch Steam and then go to the game itself and then launch it through there. You don't need to launch it through your desktop through a shortcut. Shortcuts actually decreases performance in your Windows. It doesn't matter if you're Windows 10 or 11. It doesn't matter. All right. So the next thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is go to the start button over here and go to settings and then come over here. All right. You're going to come to gaming, come to game mode, and make sure the game mode is turned on. For season 3 right now, I highly recommend you keep game mode on. Now for season 2, it was also on, and then for season 1, it was off. All right. So please go ahead and turn that on, and then go to graphics settings over here and have hardware accelerated GPU scheduling turned on. Please go ahead and do so. Now, if yours is off and you turn it on, it will ask you to restart your computer. What you're going to do is this. Restart your computer once you've watched this entire video, then you restart your computer. Because you're going to need to restart it in anyways once you're done with everything I'm about to show you. Alright? From the beginning to the end of my video. Please don't skip through it, because if you're going to miss out on something, your game won't optimize itself, and you want the best out of your machine and your game at the same time. So just watch my entire video and you should be good to go. I'll try and make it short, sweet, and simple. I know when I say short, sweet, and simple, the video might be 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I can't help for that. If I'm going to explain everything to you, I'm going to need to explain it. You know, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. I have to explain it to you so you can understand. All right, so from here, you're going to go to the home button and you're going to come to privacy, scroll all the way down to the bottom over here, and then go to background apps. Now, if you are a Windows 10 user like me, yes, I'm still a Windows 10 user. I prefer Windows 10. Windows 10 has no problems, and it's not giving me any problems, so I'll only move over to Windows 11 once I have to move over. Once there's no security features for Windows 10 anymore, once there's no more updates and stuff like that, then I'll move over to Windows 11. Whoever's going to leave a comment down below, yo dude, move over to Windows 11, go fuck yourself. I don't want to, I don't need to, okay? So this is my own personal preference. Cool. Anyways, now, if you're a Windows 11 user, you're going to have to individually disable your background apps one by one. I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's going to make the video even longer. Just go Google how to disable them. If you're a Windows 10 user, you just go from on to off, and then all of these things over here is going to turn off and not run in the background using your VRAM, your RAM, and your CPU usage. You don't want it to do that. You want to switch all of these background apps bullshit off. All right, from here, you're going to go to the home button. And then from here, you're going to click on the update and security. Make sure that your Windows is up to date. Now, it doesn't matter if you are a Windows 10 user or Windows 11 user. Yet again, please go ahead and check for updates and make sure you have the latest updates for your Windows. It's very important that every time Call of Duty does an update, your Windows needs to be up to date as well. Please go ahead and do that, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this right here, and it plays the most important role in Call of Duty itself for Modern Warfare 3 and for Warzone. You're going to open up your file explorer like this and go to Documents, and then go to Call of Duty, go to Players like this, and then come to this file that says option4.cod23. You're going to open this up with any notepad or any option. You can just say open with, and then say notepad, say always open this up with notepad. Just go down like this if you don't see this, and select it, and open it up like this, and have it open up like this, nice and big, so you can do everything inside you that needs to be done. Now, this plays a very huge role on the game itself and how the game is going to perform for you in Warzone and in multiplayer as well. This plays a very big role. This is the config file in itself, so whatever you tweak inside here is whatever's going to happen inside your game, if you're going to do more performance or less performance. Now, if you do something wrong inside here, you can completely fuck up your game and it will never launch again. Okay, so now please don't do settings inside here that shouldn't be changed. Don't change them. I'm only going to change the stuff and show you the stuff that needs to be changed in here, that has to be in a certain way for your game to perform the way it should perform on your specific machine, depending if it's a low end, medium end to a high end machine. This is what you're going to need to do. All right, so the first one is the thread count for handling the job queue, and as you can see, I have 8 inside here. The reason why I have 8 is because I have 8 performance cores. Now, to find out what type of CPU you have, it's very easy to do. Just right-click on your taskbar like this, go to Task Manager, go to Performance, and then click on your CPU, and it will tell you the CPU that you're currently running. Now, I have a 14700K, it's an i7, and it's got 8 performance cores, and then it's got efficient cores, total cores, and total threads. Now, I put my performance cores inside here. The reason why I put my performance cores inside here, because it is a later gen CPU from Intel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have the latest CPUs, or you just have, like, in general, total cores and total threads, you're going to put your total cores inside here. This is validated for the Ryzen CPUs and Intel CPUs. So let's just say you have 6 total cores on your Ryzen or your Intel CPU, you put 6 inside here. Let's say you have 8 total cores, you put 8 inside here. Let's say you have 12 total cores, you put 12 inside here. Now, when it comes to performance cores and you have a newer generation CPU, put the performance cores inside here. I have 8 performance cores. Now, it's very easy to do this, ladies and gentlemen, to see what's going on with the CPU that you're running. If you are very new to computers and you don't know what you're doing and stuff like that, you can just right-click here, go to Task Manager, go to your CPU itself, so go to Performance, go to CPU, see that. It will actually tell you the CPU that you're running. Type that CPU into Google that you are currently running. Next to the CPU itself, spacebar, and then type in specs and press enter. Then go onto the very first web link that's going to take you to the CPU specifications, and it's going to tell you if it's got efficient cores, if it's got performance cores, if it's got just total cores and just total threads. Then you're going to, like I said, with older generation CPUs, put your total cores inside here. That's what you're going to need to do. When it comes to newer generation CPUs, you're going to put your performance cores inside here. Okay, I just want to get that out the air because a lot of people get this very, very wrong. Okay, now I have 8 performance cores, so that's why I put 8 inside here. Now, when you're running a lower generation Ryzen CPU or a lower generation Intel CPU, you're going to put your total cores inside here. So let's just say you have 12, like I said before. If you have 12 total cores, put 12 inside here. If you have 16, put 16 inside here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have 24 cores, do not put 24 inside here. It will not work. It will not function because the highest value is 16 inside here. So if you do have a total cores of 24, I highly suggest you still put 16 inside here, even though you have total cores of 24. The highest value is 16, so go ahead and put it on 16. I'm going to put mine back on 8 because I have 8 performance cores on my CPU, and that's what it needs. So when it's the newer CPUs, it's its performance cores. If it's older CPUs, you put your total cores, including Ryzen, including Intel, okay? Both CPUs, total cores inside you should be good to go, because this config file, if you've never changed anything inside you, will give you a random number. Mine was actually 5, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever, because I don't have 5 performance cores, I have 8, okay? Neither do I have 5 total cores, okay? So, like I said, I put 8 inside here because I have 8 performance cores, and this is what I use, okay? Now, something that plays a very big role is this over here. A lot of people do say that you should change this to the highest value, which is this one over here. So you copy it. Don't. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that's going to copy stuff and then tell you afterwards that you're going to need to remove it, okay? This is a thing that used to be a thing back in the day where you copy this value. So don't do this. I'm just going to explain it to you. Where you copy this value and put it inside here. Do not do that. I repeat, do not do that. It can actually cause the game to crash while playing the game, while mid-game, while launching the game. It can crash your game to the desktop, okay? So you want this to be at this, which is the 80% mark in the VRAM scale, target scale, inside the game, okay? So you don't have to do anything inside here because we're going to do it in the game itself, so just leave it like this. Then you're going to have everything that I have like this, exactly the same like mine. Obviously, you won't have the exact same GPU as mine, so don't worry about that, okay? Now, as you can see, it says here version of the last display driver used to run the game, which is 56590. This is the latest graphics card driver that is out right now at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen. So please go ahead and download that latest graphics card driver. Now, this is the recommended driver to be running this game, which is 560.70. It's the recommended version, and if you want to go ahead and download this version, you can literally just go on to Google and type in Nvidia graphics card driver download, and then type in your graphics card and then this driver, right? Now, if you want to find out what GPU you have and you're brand new to computers, ladies and gentlemen, right click over here, go to Task Manager, and then go to Performance. Everything is inside here, and then you're just going to scroll down and select here at the bottom your GPU. As you can see, I have an RTX 4070 Super, and that's what I'm running inside here. Now, you're going to go ahead and type in RTX or whatever graphics card you have, spacebar driver download, and go ahead and download the latest graphics card drivers, or you can go ahead and go with the version they recommend you to run the game at. Okay, the driver that you should run it at. But my game runs perfectly fine on this driver over here. I'll just prove it to you by going to GeForce Experience. If you do not own GeForce Experience, ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend go ahead and download GeForce Experience, because it will actually let you know that there's a new graphics card driver out, and it will automatically let you start downloading it, or it will notify you to download it. Okay, which you can see over here, it says 565.90. It's the latest graphics card driver that's out right now. I've downloaded it, I installed it, and played my game perfectly fine. And you saw the FPS that I was doing while playing on this driver with my specific graphics card and my specific CPU. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm not going to go over other things inside here that, for instance, like blood count, skeleton count, and stuff like that, that can actually cause your game to crash. So I'm not going to go over that. If you would like to watch other YouTubers tell you to do that and it works for you, that's good news. I'm happy for you. But if you do stuff inside this config file that you change and your game doesn't work anymore, don't blame me, because I don't change those things. Please don't change those things. If you're listening to me and you want to take my advice, don't fucking change those things, because it can actually cause your game to crash. You are physically in the config file right now. You're in the brains of your game's settings. You're not in the game settings while being in the physical game. You are in the game settings while being out the game. So please, this is the config file. Don't fuck around with stuff that you don't know what you're doing, because if you fuck with something inside here that is not supposed to be fucked around with, you can make your game not run and it won't function ever again, because you get to the point where you can't, like, for instance, reinstall the game. Even if you try reinstalling it, even if you try basically installing Windows from overs, it still won't work. Now, I get clients up the ass asking me in emails, yo dude, can you help me out to fix this game for me because it's not running? Now, with all my clients so far that I've worked with, I have successfully fixed their game for them. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I do charge a service fee, and I showed you my email in the beginning of this video. If you would like to personally let me optimize your game for you, or your game doesn't work at all. If your game doesn't fucking work, or it crashes randomly, or you're doing very shitty FPS, or your game runs like dog shit, and you want your game to run the way it should run on a very beast up machine, or whatever the case might be, and you know your machine's worth more, you could just email me. And like I said, I do charge a service fee, and I can help you out as best I can, ladies and gentlemen. All right, once this is done, and you've done everything inside here that needs to be done, especially this one over here, it's very, very important, is this one over here. You're going to come over here where it says File, and say Save, and then close out of this, and then close out of this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into the next step. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this over here. You're going to right-click on your desktop, and you're going to open up Nvidia control panel. Now, this is a very, very important step, ladies and gentlemen, is this right here, is Nvidia control panel. Once you upgrade or download the latest graphics card driver, the things inside here normally either changes to its default settings, and this is a thing, okay? Or sometimes it won't change it at all, and you should be good to go. Your settings will still be the same like mine. If you watch my previous videos or whatever the case might be, then it will still be the same. But I downloaded the latest graphics card drivers, and it actually changed everything back to its default settings, and the default settings is bullshit. It's absolute atrocious, and it makes your game look like shit. So what you're going to need to do is come to Adjust Image Settings with Preview. Make sure you say use the advanced 3D image settings and click on Take Me There, which is basically just going to take you to manage 3D settings. And all you're going to need to do here is copy everything I have inside here, and you should be good to go. All right, copy everything I have inside here, and you should be good to go. You can just pause my video over here, and I'm just going to go over a few things that's very, very important. Number one, open GL rendering GPU, select your dedicated graphics card that you're currently running, prefer maximum performance over here where it says power management mode, shader cache on driver default, you're going to have this off, allow, and then where it says texture filter quality. Now this is where it plays a role when it comes to low-end machines, medium-end machines, to high-end machines. Okay, if you have a low-end machine, high performance. If you have a medium-end machine, performance. If you have a high-end machine, or basically the equivalent to a high-end machine, go to quality, and you should be good to go over here. Then you're going to go off, and then threaded optimization should always be on, triple buffering off, and this is just virtual reality things. You don't have to worry about that, and then just apply these settings if you haven't done so already. Please go ahead and copy everything I have inside here exactly as is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make this video short, sweet, and simple. All right, from here, you're going to go to config, surround, and physics, and make sure you have your dedicated graphics card selected inside here, not auto select, not CPU, your dedicated graphics card that you're running. Because if you say auto select, what it's going to do is while you are playing your game, it might jump to your CPU if you have onboard CPU graphics like I do, or any other CPU that has onboard graphics. It will jump between the two and use its VRAM. You don't want it to do that. It can actually cause stuttering in the game, and it can cause problems in the game. So please go ahead and make sure you have your dedicated graphics card selected over here, selected, and then say apply to these settings. Once you're done with that, you're going to come to adjust desktop color settings and come inside here. Now, something I mentioned before was things changed when I updated my graphics card drivers. Things has changed inside here. This has changed. My digital vibrance was at 50%, which is its default settings, and I like mine at 95. You can just go to reference image over here and then click on image 3, and then if you pull this all the way to 0, you'll see your screen goes to black and white. Now, if you pull it all the way to, let's say, 50, that is Windows's default settings. You do not want Windows's default settings because it looks atrocious. It looks like dog shit. It looks like your grandma's old TV. It's very washed out, and it looks like shit. Now, if you want all your games to look beautiful, especially Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone itself, push this up to your own personal preference. You can make it 65, 75, you can make it 85 like this. My personal spot is 95 like this on all my screens, in fact. So then you just say apply like this, and you should be good to go. As you can see, all my screens are exactly the same. Digital vibrance is at 95, and then the contrast is at 65. This is a sweet spot right now for Call of Duty and every single game you're going to be playing and everything you're doing on your computer itself. You'll see that your screen looks much, much better because there's digital vibrance happening on your screen that makes colors pop and makes the games look better that you are currently playing. All right, let's jump straight into the game. Let me show you the best settings you can use right now at this very moment for the latest updates for Season 6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the game right now, and I'm going to go through the display settings. I'm going to go through the quality tab, the view tab, the game color settings, and then also the interface settings as well, and everything you're going to need to do inside this game settings itself to have a smooth gameplay experience. And it doesn't matter if you're running a low-end machine, medium-end machine to a high-end machine, it doesn't matter. What you are running is going to depend on what you're going to select inside here. I'm going to go over everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to upload one for Modern Warfare 3 as well, so I'm just going to basically duplicate this video and put it up as Modern Warfare 3 because I'm posting this video as for Warzone. A lot of people are not finding my videos because they are looking for Modern Warfare 3 videos, but my video is called Best Settings for Warzone. All right, so I'm going to be re-uploading this video for Modern Warfare 3 as well, because this settings I'm about to show you applies for both of them. And I'm going to go over the reasons and settings, what you should be choosing for Warzone and what you should be choosing if you are playing multiplayer. All right, first thing is this over here, which is the display mode, and it plays a very big role on the game itself. All right, now I play my game at full screen borderless. The reason why I play my game at full screen borderless is because I have multiple screens. If you have multiple screens, please go with full screen borderless. You can also get away with full screen exclusive if you have multiple screens, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a must that you have to go with full screen borderless, but you can go with full screen exclusive with multiple screens as well. But for me personally, with my own tweaking and settings and testing things out and stuff like that, I have the exact same performance when I run full screen borderless with multiple screens, because I have 3 of them, and having this at full screen exclusive. The only reason why you would have this at full screen exclusive only, and you only choose this option and you don't go to this one over here, is if you have one display. Let's say you have one display like a laptop display, or one screen like a gaming screen, or just one display in general. You don't have multiple screens. Go with full screen exclusive. It is the best setting in here to have less input latency and stuff like that. It is the best setting. You go with full screen exclusive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is other ones, which is full screen extended window. Now, this is something that I would recommend for people to run if they're running low-end machines, and then also windowed mode if you're running low-end machines. Okay, go with these options rather than going with these over here, because then you can actually start tweaking other stuff in the game to have a smoother gameplay experience, because you're running a low-end machine. So you can then start downscaling the resolution so you can have a smoother gameplay experience. Then go with windowed mode, or you go with full screen extended windowed mode. Go with these 2 options, or any one of these 2, and you should be good to go when it comes to a low-end machine. All right, from here, let's go to the next step. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step is this over here. It's aspect ratio. A lot of people don't understand what this actually does and what this means to select what option inside here. If you don't know what you're doing inside here, please do not just select anything inside here, okay? I would highly recommend you go with automatic if you don't know what you're doing inside here. If you have maybe like an ultra wide screen, or you have a gaming monitor, or you have like 144 hertz screens or 500 hertz screens and shit like that. All that kind of fucking nice nonsense. Just click on automatic, and Call of Duty will automatically pick up what monitor you are running, what screen you are running. I run my games at 16:9. I run all my games at 16:9 to have a competitive advantage over my enemies. And this is why I have this at 16:9. Go ahead and try it out if you want to. If you don't want to, it's your own personal preference. Okay, I have mine at 16:9. Okay, this one over here where it says restart shader preloading, we're going to come to this later onwards once we're done with everything inside here, because this is the most important step you're going to need to take once you're done applying all the settings inside this game. Now, display gamma, I have mine at 2.4 because it actually makes the colors pop in this game way better. But if you want to, and you only have, like, let's say for instance, one display, one screen, one monitor, go with 2.2 over here if you have a monitor, and then go with 2.4 if you have a like a TV or something like that. You can also go with 2.4 if you have a gaming display, because a gaming display also has way more pixels, way more contrast, way more things that normal displays don't have. Then go with 2.4 here. It will actually give you a digital vibrance overdraft, like it's like a little upgrade that it does when you have this at 2.4, where you can actually see colors pop way better. So go with 2.4 over here if you have a gaming display. It's actually not necessary to do, but you can go ahead and play around with it. I highly suggest you go ahead and do so and try it out yourself. All right, brightness, do not have it at 50. Do not have it at, I don't know, like maybe 70%, don't go there. Rather go from 55 to 60, and 60 is where you stop. Don't go higher than that, otherwise the game's going to look washed out in anyways. So go between 55 and 60, and you should be good to go with the brightness over here. Constant mouse to game window is just an option you can just skip over. Fuck this option, it's a bullshit option. I'm not going to keep explaining this option, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Turn it off, turn it the fuck off, and leave it off. Alright, Nvidia Reflex Low Latency is something that plays a very, 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 very big role on your game itself, and how your GPU and your CPU is being handled with this game. Now, a lot of people don't understand what the fuck this does. They just select anything, okay? Now, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is take the eyeballs that is currently in the sockets of your face and put them here and read what the fuck it says. Okay? That's all you need to do. Literally. That's literally all you need to do. Okay. So for people out there that's brand new to computers, they don't know what the settings do and they don't want to read this and they don't understand this maybe, let's make an example for you. Okay. On plus boost will say low latency mode is on, enabled, and optimizing system latency. Okay. So basically this is when you are CPU bound cases. Okay, CPU bound. Then on is if you GPU bound. Okay, what that means is this. If you are CPU bound, meaning you have a very high-end GPU, but you go a lower-end CPU, you go with on plus boost. If you have a very high-end CPU and you have a lower-end GPU, you go with on. Okay? But now, this is the thing on top of all of this. Something that Call of Duty automatically does, alright? It automatically does it for you. Is, for instance, I'm running a 14700K and I'm running a 4070 Super. Them pairing up with each other are pairing up very, very well, okay? So, I don't know why I put it on for me, but what I suggest you do is, if your game is already selected something for you, and it's on, or it's on plus boost, or whatever it's on. It's just as long as it's not off, okay? Whatever this is on yours right now at this very moment, don't touch it. Leave it, because Call of Duty is automatically picking up what is the best for your machine. So leave it on what it's on. So if it's on, leave it on. If it's on plus boost, leave it on plus boost. You should be good to go. All right, let's go down. You're going to come to this over here. You're going to come to eco mode preset and have this at custom. You're going to have your VSync gameplay. The only reason why you would put this at 100% is if you're getting stuff like screen tearing and your screen starts tearing itself apart and stuff like that. Or, for instance, that you want to cap your FPS to refresh rate of the hertz or your monitor. Then you will put this on. Okay, that's the only reason why you would put this on, if you're getting stuttering or your game's tearing itself apart and stuff like that while playing the game. As it says here, gameplay, and then it says menus. Okay, so now if you're experiencing that bullshit, then go over here, go to 100%, you'll be good to go. But just bear in mind, if you have a 60 hertz display, you will only do 60 FPS max, okay, while playing this game. If you have a 144 hertz monitor, you'll do 144 FPS max. Don't trip out when you put this on 100% and you like, what the fuck, I used to do 500 FPS, why am I doing like 120? It's because you have a 120 hertz display, okay? Or you have a 144 hertz display, or you have a 240 hertz display. You get my point, okay? So don't just be mind boggled when you put this on 100% and then your FPS is capped to the refresh rate of your monitor, because this is what this option will do for you, okay? And it will make your game run smoother. But if you are not getting screen tearing, you're not getting stuttering, your game's running perfectly fine with like uncapped FPS and everything is perfect, leave it the fuck off, and leave this one the fuck off, and you should be good to go. And then, like I said, unlimited. I have mine unlimited, and this is how I play my game. I've always played my game like this, so I do unlimited FPS. As you can see, I use MSI Afterburner here at the top, and I can actually see my FPS. I can see what my GPU is doing, I can see what my CPU is doing, I can see what my RAM's doing, what my VRAM is doing on my GPU, everything. I can see it myself. Now, there is settings in Call of Duty to actually show you what you're doing if you're not using MSI Afterburner. As an overlay over here, there is an option to actually show you what you're doing. I'm going to go over that and I'm going to show you how you can enable it and you can see it yourself. All right. Now, like I said, I have mine on unlimited. If you want to, you can go to custom and you can do this. If you want to do this, you can do this. Okay, let's say you've got a 120 hertz monitor, then I would recommend you put this at 120 like this. Let's say you have a 144 hertz monitor, you put it at 144 like this. Let's say you got a 240 hertz monitor, you put it at 240 like this and press enter. Let's say you got like a, I don't know, 500 hertz monitor. Then 300 is the max you can put this on. You can't put this at 500, obviously. So just leave it at 300 over here. Then where it says menu custom frame rate limit, put this at 60 and then this at 30. But like I said before, this is a personal preference. I can't tell you what to do inside here. It's going to be your own personal thing that you type inside here. But this is the refresh rate of your monitor. Okay? Literally just Google the refresh rate of your monitor, or Google your screen, or whatever the case might be, or go into your Windows settings and find out what is your hertz of your screen. Right click on your desktop, go to display, see the hertz of your screen, and then type it in here. That's if you want to do custom stuff. I don't do that. I do unlimited FPS on Call of Duty. Always and always will. All right. Menu render resolution, native. Do not change this. Pause game rendering off, and then focus mode at 0%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the quality tab right now. And as you can see, there is a reset recommended, minimum, basic, balance, ultra, extreme, and then custom. Now, if you've never ever change settings inside here, you will not have a custom option. Please don't leave me a comment down below saying, yo dude, I don't have a custom option. It's because you've never customized settings inside you before. That's why you won't have a custom option. You'll only have extreme, ultra, balance, basic, minimum, and then you probably won't even have that either. Okay, but a lot of people can get away with minimum, basic, balance, ultra, extreme. I can get away with any of these, but I'm not going to choose them because then I'm not running basically competitive settings. And I'm here to give you the best settings. I'm here to give you competitive settings. I'm here to give you the best settings for your specific machine. Okay, so now let's go over them. Okay, so now I'm going to go over this. Right, so the first thing is this, is the upscaling and sharpening. Right now at this very moment, when it comes to Call of Duty Warzone, AMD FSR is the best upscaling and overall setting for upscaling and sharpening that you can use for Warzone at this very moment is AMD FSR 3.0. And no, ladies and gentlemen, it does not matter if you are running a AMD card or an Nvidia card, you could still use AMD FSR 3.0. I'm using it right now, and I'm running an RTX 4070 Super, and it's an Nvidia card, right? So you click on this, go here, quality, and then put AMD frame generation on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a mind-boggling, changing move by just putting this at AMD FSR 3.0 for Warzone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to joke. If you want to see FPS that's fucking skyrocketing out there and your game runs super fucking smooth, go with AMD FSR 3.0. It is the best option when it comes to Warzone. Now, something I just want to point out as well, this is something I do, okay, as a person that does FPS boost guides and stuff like that. I personally actually play my game like this. So I go to Fidelity FX Cache and I pull this to 200% and I play my game at 4K. I go with Fidelity FX Cache 50% over here, and this is how I play my game. Now, the only reason why I did this by typing this back to 100 like this and then putting this at this is because this right now is the best setting you can use for Warzone, ladies and gentlemen. Warzone is an open game, so you jump out of a plane and there's so much shit to render in, there's so much stuff to do. Basically, there's so much shit, there's so many people around you, so it needs to do a lot of stuff. Your GPU needs to do a lot of stuff, your CPU needs to do a lot of stuff, a lot of rendering work, a lot of, like, you know, in detailed work that your CPU needs to do, and your GPU and your RAM. Let AMD FSR 3.0 do that for you with frame generation on. Let it do it for you. You'll do the FPS that you want, ladies and gentlemen, especially with low-end machines to medium-end machines, even to high-end machines. This is an amazing option. Okay, go with this and you should be good to go. This over here, ladies and gentlemen, VRAM scale target. This is what I was talking about in the config file. Okay, it said 0.80. Do not, I repeat, do not push this up to 90%. There's no point in doing it, okay? There are people and clients that I work with that has 4090s, the best cards that you can have right now at this very moment, that I tell to put this at 80% and then they play their game, and they're doing 550 FPS in multiplayer. They're doing like 480, 470 FPS while playing Warzone and stuff like that. It's because they have this at 80. Do not put this at 90. You do not need to put it at 90. The only reason why I would explain to change this to 90 is if you don't want to change the rest of the stuff, but you want to. You want custom settings. So take advantage of this, okay? When you have a lower generation graphics card that does not have, like, for instance here, as you can see, 12 gigs available of VRAM, but you have, like, let's say 6 gigs, okay? Or you got 8 gigs, then I would recommend you change this to 60, like that. Do not drop it lower than 60, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not drop it lower than 60. You're going to go with 60 here if you have a low-end to a medium-end machine. Try this option first. Try this option first. If not, and this does not give you the best performance that you want out of this, you can go with Fidelity FX Cache and then choose your own resolution over here. You can literally downscale it or upscale it. It's your own personal preference, and try it out, okay? Now, obviously, this is Fidelity FX Cache. It's not using NVIDIA DLSS frame generation because I have an Nvidia card, so I'm not going to use this right now. But if you're going to do something like you use NVIDIA DLSS, I know a lot of people that use NVIDIA DLSS at quality, and then the sharpness is at 50% or their own personal preference, and they have very good cards. Let's say you have a, I don't know, 12 gig card as well, and it's a newer generation card and stuff like that, then yet again, ladies and gentlemen, 80% like that. You should be good to go. Then you're going to put this on. If you have this option, NVIDIA DLSS frame generation, if you have an NVIDIA card and you're using NVIDIA DLSS, go ahead and use it. Okay, now I do know a lot of people do use this one over here, NVIDIA image scaling as well. I skip over this because I always skip over it because it's a piece of shit option. Go to NVIDIA image scaling. If you do use this option, have this at ultra quality. Okay, if you're running a medium end machine, you are going to go to quality. If you have a lower end machine and you want this option, go to balance. Do not put the performance. You're going to scratch your own eyes out, or pick up a cat to scratch your eyes out for you. Please do not put this at performance. Your game's going to look like absolute dog shit. All right, now, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, these two right now, these two here, are the best upscalings you can use right now at this very moment to get the best performance. And right now at this very moment, I would choose AMD FSR 3.0 over Fidelity FX Cache. At this very moment, as I'm speaking, as you're watching this video, AMD 3.0 is the best right now at quality, at frame generation on, and then you're going to have this at 80% over here. Now, obviously, I'm going to turn that off and have AMD's one on and not NVIDIA's one on. Please go ahead and do that. If you have an Nvidia card, please go ahead and do this. Have this at 80%, you should be good to go. 60%, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a lower generation graphics card. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to come here, and you do not, I repeat, do not need to have this at high if you have a low-end machine. You can go to normal, and you can go to normal. If you have a very low-end machine, and you know you got a very low-end machine, go to low over here, and have that at normal. Have these two like this, and you should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. I can trust me, you will be good to go. I'm going to put mine back to where it was, which was high and high. Then, depth of field. No one ever actually plays with this. Who the fuck in their right mind plays with depth of field? Turn it the fuck off, and done. Detail quality level, low. Particle resolution, very low. Bullet impacts, turn this on. For the love of fuck, turn this on. It doesn't have a lot of impact on your GPU or your CPU at all, so turn it on. Effects, you do not need to see the effects in this game. Even if you turn it on or off, you'll still see the effects, even with it off. So turn it the fuck off. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving you settings that I'm using right now to play this game on a 14700K and a 4070 Super, okay, with RAM that's overclocked. And I'm running not the best of machines, like the best of the best of the best, but I'm running a very decent computer, and I'm putting things off. So please just follow these steps, and you'll be fucking good to go when it comes to running this game perfectly fine. All right, shader quality very low. You do not need to change this. Put it to low, and that's it. All right, so something that's very, very annoying is this one over here, that you can't turn this off. Now, if you can't turn it off, obviously go to minimal. Don't go here, just go to minimal. You should be good to go. Local Texas streaming quality, normal on every single card that's out there. Doesn't matter what GPU you are running, what machine you are running, normal over here. Shadow and lighting plays a very big role in the game's performance as well, because it actually eats your VRAM and it actually eats the frames while you are playing the game, and you don't need them to be on. So shader quality, very low. Screen space, shadows, off, always off, leave it the fuck off and done. Ambient occlusion, off, always off, leave it off and fucking done. Screen space reflections, off. Static reflection quality at low. Alright, then you get this environment, which is a bunch of bullshit, and you do not need this in Warzone or in Modern Warfare 3. You're going to say off for tessellation, for metric quality, low, physics quality, off, weather grid volumes, you do not need to see the fucking weather in this game, oh my god. Turn it the fuck off, and then weather quality off as well. Weather quality is just something that's just absolute bullshit. These options needs to be removed out of COD, but they don't listen, they'll keep them here. It's actually meant for single player, not multiplayer. Turn them the fuck off. Alright, apply these settings. Once you're done with that, you're going to come to the view tab, and then this is your own personal preference, but this, turn it the fuck off. This, turn it the fuck off. You do not play with this in multiplayer. Then film grain to 0.00. Please leave it like this, because you do not, yet again, want your game to look like you're playing on your grandma's TV. Right. Then this one over here is very, very important as well. You can go ahead and change this if you want to. Inverted flash is just really, really nice to have while you're playing this game, so that it doesn't look like a flashbang is actually coming through your monitor and landing on your table. Okay, turn it on, your screen will actually go black, not completely black, just halfish black, and have this on. It's your own personal preference, though. I'm not going to tell you to put this on. You have to. You don't have to. It's your own personal preference, ladies and gentlemen. So, literally everything inside your own personal preference. But please, for the love of fuck, turn this off, and 0.00. Alright, apply these settings, and you're going to come from here. I don't think you can apply these settings. You can just change it, and it will automatically apply. And then come to interface over here. Go to color customization. Come inside here. Have you as a color. Choose your own fucking color. Doesn't matter what color it is. Your team, please have your team and your party the exact same color. Then you are good to go. Then you go with enemies, come here and have a custom color and choose your own custom color of what your enemies would like to be. Mine's magenta pink because nothing in this game is fucking magenta pink. So it's much easier to see my enemies if you're taking a hard point, if they're taking a flag, if I pin them, if I ping them, whatever the case might be, it's very easy to see. Alright, you're going to come down to where it says color filter, have this at filter 2. Filter 2 is still the best option. Filter 3, it's your own personal preference, but Filter 2 is still the best option. You're going to come with both over here, not interface, not world, both, 100%, you are good to go. Now, the very last option that I want you guys to go ahead and check out is this over here. You're going to scroll down to where it says telemetry, and you're going to come here and say all on. Now, I have MSI Afterburner, like I said before. Now, you can actually see yours at the top over here, what you are doing with your machine. Okay, if you don't have MSI Afterburner and you would like to see the FPS that you're doing and everything that you're doing in the game in general. Now, once this is done, ladies and gentlemen, and you have changed everything that you needed to change, you're gonna now come to the most important step in this game, that is this right here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the most important step you're going to need to take once you've applied every single setting that you apply to your specific machine settings right now. You're going to come to Restart Shader Preloading and then click on Restart. Once you click on Restart, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to fuck out your game completely. So obviously just press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, say yes, quit out of your game. Ladies and gentlemen, then you're going to launch your game through Battle.net or through Steam or whatever launcher you are currently using, and then come back into the game. Now, once you're back into the game, ladies and gentlemen, and it maybe looks like this, or it looks like, I don't know, let's just say you go into a game and it looks like this. Ladies and gentlemen, once you are back into the game, and let's just say it's in the loading screen, or it's in, like, just the waiting screen, or it's in the, you want to select a game mode or whatever the case might be, do not rush. Just wait for the shaders to install finish here at the top left. You'll actually see it. It'll say installing shaders because you just clicked on restart shaders. All right, so it's going to restart your shaders for you. It's going to reinstall it for you, and just wait. Once you're in the game and it starts installing and it's at 0%, just click once, just like a click. Just like a one click on your screen, anywhere on your screen, and leave it. Don't touch your keyboard, don't touch your mouse. Let the shaders install to 100%, and then here a square block will come up. Once you start clicking on stuff, it will say 100% completed, and then you can enjoy your game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and if you would like to do so and this helped you a fuck ton, leave a super thanks down below. It will mean a lot to me. As always, ladies and gentlemen, just here to help the Call of Duty community as best I can. And as always, hope you enjoy this, and peace